In this video, we are talking about a play named Party, written by Mahesh Ilkunchwar. He is an Indian playwright, screenplay writer and actor. I have already made a video on him. To supplement your knowledge, you may check that out. Now let's focus on the play Party. Party was written in the year 1976 and it was adopted as film in 1984 in Hindi language, being directed by Govind Nihalani. Apart from this, Party was the official Indian entry to the 32nd International Film Festival of India, New Delhi, and also took part in the Tokyo Film Festival 1985, followed by this Asia Pacific Film Festival 1985. Moving further, let's see synopsis. This play is specifically targeting and satiring middle class of India, how they lived in the 80s and the way they live now. They speak English and are involved in some ways in the film industry. They drink alcohol, have strict etiquettes on what to speak and say, and are all about the importance of art and culture. In a way, it's about the silent classification of one thing against another that society puts on us. And we inherit it because we have been taught to classify things against one another, since there must be a winner and a loser, even when there doesn't have to be. The play offers an idea about various peoples and attitudes in the society. We see design of Indian artistic life spread with the politics and the intention of manipulative power. Ilkunchwar has very carefully noted people of the Indian metropolis with their rivalries, aspiration and frustration who are betrayed by their dear ones. Every character in the play tries to increase self-importance by underestimating others. Ilkunchwar has successfully and cleverly spelled up all this human emotion. Now the title of the play, that is Party, which itself exposes the content of the play. Number of audience see the tearing of mask of eminent, gentle, intellectual society and seeing the naked faces displaying and worms living in their blood and flesh. They become restless. Mahesh Ilkunchwar takes stock of every individual's emotions and changes on the basis of psychological condition. In this play, he shows life as it is, which he explicitly says life like this. Play never tends towards melodrama. Every character participates in the party and their internal and external personality shines. Now let's see the summary. Damayanti Rane, who is around 45 years of age, is a widow, but a very rich and highly influential lady among the elite society, because of her father being a cabinet minister. She is always a patron for artists, due to which the interested persons flutter around her to gain her favors. She is fully aware of her strength and uses it skillfully with the pretense of unbiased stand. At present she lives a low-profile life, but still her richness does not hide. Her friend, whose name is unknown, but throughout the play, he is known as Doctor. He is of her age and is always around her. There are no indication of attraction between Doctor and Mrs. Rane, which is observed between persons of opposite sex. However, he is just a friend to her, whose moral support is crucially important to her, especially to solve tension with her and her daughter Sona. He is the only person whom Sona respects and regards as a father figure in the absence of her own father. Doctor too needs Mrs. Rahane's friendship for some unknown reason. However, their views regarding most of the things differ greatly, which is clear from the opinions about the worth of other characters of the play, like that of Amrit, Bharat, and Barve. They analyze them as writers as well as persons. As the play begins, there is a party at the house of Mrs. Rane. It is a party in the honor of Diwakar Barve for winning a prestigious literary award for his contribution to Indian arts and films. Barve is a renowned writer of 45 years. He received many honors and always live in the limelight. He distributes amount of reward amongst poor and is the writer of Modern Obligation. He had to struggle a lot for getting honor, name and popularity during his struggling days as an author. Mrs. Rane loves the writing of Barve and is a huge fan of his literature. Therefore, she arranges a party in her house in order to express her joy for receiving the award by Barve. Many people related to the field of writing have gathered in the party. Elkunchwar succeeds in showing the hypocrisy of this party grower through his play. Few members in the party represents fields like cinema, art and politics as well. But some fun-seeking persons also attend the party, like Malvika, who says, I love party and having no interest in anything. Idol Narendra is also present in the party. Now, we know that Dr. and Mrs. Rane are different in respect of their views and opinion. So whenever Dr. hints at Barve's hypocrisy, his manipulation for fame, limelight during the party, Mrs. Rane comes forward to defend Barve. According to Dr., Barve's award is a scale to measure popular success. On the contrary, Mrs. Rane says he deserved it and he is the best among all Marathi writers. She as well tries to impress it upon Doctor unsuccessfully by referring to Barve's gesture of donating the award money for the cause of charity. Then, moving towards Sona, Mrs. Rane's daughter, she is mother of a baby without marriage and probably the father of the baby is said to be Amrit. According to Mrs. Rane, Sona respects only two persons, that is Doctor and Amrit. At the party, she is mostly seen with Doctor, but at present, she is passing through the phase of disillusionment in love. Actually, there were three men who entered her life. First is Mr. Sahani, who belongs to the glamour world and is member of Mrs. Rane's friend circle. He is ready to marry her, but wants freedom to continue his extramarital affairs. Sona expects loyalty towards her and in the absence of it, she refuses to get married. Where Mr. Sahani is even ready to continue the relationship without marriage and tried to blackmail Sona with the help of love letters in his possession. But Sona hasn't cared a bit about it. The second man who is trying to enter Sona's life is Agashe. Agashe too is a famous playwright, but his plays are for masses and not for classes, which Barve is known for. He doesn't have emotional bonding with Mrs. Rane. However, he is always a part of her parties, being rich and famous. Mrs. Rane is interested in him as an acceptable match for her daughter, even though there is no emotional bond between the two. Actually, there is no compatibility between two, and he is 15 years older to Sona. Sona also hates him for his selfish motives. She knows very well that Agashe is willing to marry an unmarried mother like her surely for monetary gains. That is why she hates him more. Agashe is well aware of it, but he can't overlook the multiple benefits of the marriage of convenience. And the third man to enter Sona's life is probably Amrit. Both are of the same age group. Following this, at the party, Mrs. Rane is caught in clash with her daughter Sona over the marriage proposal. Heated argument takes place between them. Mrs. Rane tries to convince her to accept Agashe's proposal, but Sona remains firm over her decision. After the argument, Mrs. Rane is taken aside by Barve and Sona by Doctor. And then Mrs. Rane feels hurt, frustrated and is depressed. Barve cleverly tries to comfort her and praises her as one of the most cultivated women I have ever come across. She further confesses him about her failed marriage because Sona brings her late husband in between their argument. So Mrs. Rahane confesses about her disappointment of her love marriage soon after the marriage and continuing with the relationship full of disagreements for 20 years. She admits to have made a mistake in choosing a wrong person as a life partner and now confesses Barve that I need somebody and soon says I need you. Barve too confesses that he doesn't love Mohini anymore. You may question, who is Mohini now? Let me tell you about Mohini. By profession, she is an actress performing on stage and is living with Barve since last 5 to 6 years without marriage. But she is devoted to him more than a wife. She has only one man, that is Diwakar Barve, in her life. She loves Barve very much. So she is curious about his each and everything, yet is now facing quite stage for this relationship. She feels insecure about it. She fears that she has lost her charm and her beauty. So she visits beauticians who tell her that her skin is perfect and it doesn't need any cosmetics. According to Mrs. Rane, Mohini loves Barve to distraction. She has turned blind to everything else, even the fact that Barve has lost interest in her. And probably she knows it. That is why she has become more possessive of him. Thus, she has resorted to drinking, and in the party too she is constantly drinking to wipe out the painful fact. It is also seen that she does not like the act of Mrs. Rani offering a shawl she has brought for her. Throughout the play, it is evident that she is broken internally due to the consciousness that Barve does not love her, and sought to loneliness in the party and in want of her beloved Barve completely. Moving back to the confession of Mrs. Rane and Barve, we saw Barve confessing Mrs. Rane that he does not love Mohini anymore, and he now expresses a wish to stay away from her at least for some time, and he wants to use the opportunity to go to the US. Mrs. Rahane asks him, "Do you want me to ring up Papa?" And Barve nods to do so. Then she involves Barve in his writing for purely non-literary reasons. Even Barve confesses about the shallowness of his writing. Here, this was his smart move to prove his manipulation as a classical writer, while Mrs. Rane defends him and is ready to compare him with the genius of Shakespeare. Here it is clear that Mrs. Rane is very close to Barve emotionally. On the other hand, Sona is with Doctor, and Doctor too agrees that Amrit is the right person for her. Perhaps he knows something about understanding between two. Amrit is a writer, and in the play he is the only one who raises voice against injustice. Amrit is very sensitive, emotional and a thoughtful individual. When Amrit becomes conscious of reality, he puts down his pen and refuses established life. He stands lonely against the occurrence of injustice against the tribal. Elkunchwar says he is the only true character in the play, traveling on the path of truth, being conscious of truth of life and values of life. It is interesting to note that Elkunchwar has not brought Amrit on the stage throughout the play. Even then, the whole drama revolves around Amrit. He is persona gratis in the play, which means a person who is not welcomed. However, influence of his personality is on every character. All are obsessed by his existence, though he is absent, just as Godout in the play Waiting for Godout by Samuel Beckett. Anyways, Amrit is the center point of all the characters, because all characters compare themselves with him. They make pointless effort to show that they are superior to all. Next, the party focuses on Vrinda and Bharat, who are sitting outside talking with each other on a swing. Vrinda is a socio-communist activist and belongs to an affluent family. Probably she is still unmarried at the age of 35 as per the party discipline. Now she behaves as if she is hungry of sexual pleasures. She desperately grabs every opportunity for the proximity with the man. She is snobbish in this regard. She tries to net the two bachelors, Bharat and Agashe, although neither fits into her ideal for a man. She does not favor Agashe for his capitalistic background, and for the same reason, she refuses to come in his car. While Bharat is a new writer of 24 years, kept by Mrs. Rane. There are two ways before him. One is to get honor like Barve and make his place in established writers' world. And the second is by giving up writing and accept working on the principle of Amrit. His condition becomes hanging in between two poles. Due to this splitting, he has lost his self-confidence and is internally shattered because of having no recognition, name, and no identity. He is lonely, coming from the lower strata of the society and behaving awkwardly. Still, he is an over-ambitious youth. Though all these high-class people like his mature intellect and explosive writing, they do not allow him to rise in status. He has refused state government award. This truth nobody believes except Barve. Anyways, being a rural, he doesn't suit Vrinda's social level and her style, and she doesn't miss any opportunity to taunt and insult Bharat. Finally, scene moves when party interrupts, as Avinash Jogdand, a journalist, calls at Mrs. Rane's house, and he informs about news of Amrit's murder as a left-wing terrorist. Sona breaks into tears and becomes hysteric after hearing the details about it. Every other person at the party becomes disillusioned, and it's at this point that they get an idea of them being very inferior to Amrit. All become restless and return to cell. But soon they come back in their pragmatic, practical world and in the world of mass. So at the end we may say, the way Mahesh Elkunchwar represents the course of events and the life and death of Amrit lays bare the difference between the people who live in society as so-called social workers and the people who devote and sacrifice their life for social cause. So that's it for this video. I hope you liked this video, and if you did, please don't miss hitting like, share and subscribe button to help us spread the network of our videos. Stay calm and blessed. Thank you.